UK households collectively enjoy over 2,500 square miles of garden. And with much of it packed full of shrubs and hedges, it needs a lot of trimming to keep it all neat and tidy. Thankfully, there are plenty of garden gadgets to help us maintain our beloved hedges. And today, I'm testing 2 trimmers to find out which offers best value for money. First up in our cordless hedge trimmer test is the premium option from Japanese manufacturer Makitta. It comes with an 18-volt battery, which should help give it the power to cut through tough branches. This 50-centimetre battery-powered trimmer offers a variety of features, including 3 speeds and an adjustable handle. But these features don't come cheap. The Makitta costs £289. At less than a third of the price, this Einhell trimmer is the more affordable option. The blade is 4 centimetres shorter, it has fewer features, but it still looks the part. The budget Einhell also comes with an 18-volt battery and a charger to top it up, all for just £80. The question is, can it cut it against the premium competition in a series of real-world tests? Well, to find out, I'm spending the day in the world's oldest topiary garden. I've come to Levens Hall in the Lake District, and head gardener Chris Crowder is going to lend a hand. This is an absolutely stunning garden. I mean, how long has it been here like this?
This garden, in its topiary form, has been here for over 300 years now.
There's clearly a huge amount of trimming to do. I mean, did you use power trimmers?
I have clipped some of the big pieces by hand, and it's a lovely, satisfying job, but we don't get very far very fast that way. So we do use electric, and at the moment we're down to batteries. Batteries have got there as far as trimmers are concerned.
We've got 2 trimmers to test today, and I'm very interested to know what you think of them, starting with the Makitta.
There's a lot of weight. It's got bigger teeth and teeth both sides. It's a more heavy duty.
What do you think of the Einhell?
I particularly like this one. It's, I suppose this is a cheaper one, but it's very light and it's balanced perfectly on the front handle. So between the 2, who knows?
You're hedging your bets. For our first test, Chris has chosen a topiary shrub that needs trimming back. We've charged both batteries to 100%, so we can see how well our machines cope with this intricate work. A great way to test precision, cutting and manoeuvrability. So what are we looking to do here?
Well, basically, we need to give it a yearly trim, its haircuts. We need to take all this year's growth off, making a cone and a ball on top.
And what are we looking for from the trimmers in this test?
Well, they're not having to go through anything too thick with this one, but what we are trying to do is get the accuracy. It needs to be a very smooth and sharp finish, and that involves a lot of manoeuvring of the clipper, so it has to feel right in the hand. And, of course, it does have to clip it smoothly, so if it's not doing that, it loses a lot of points.
First up, it's the premium Makitta.
It feels good. I think this should go straight through it. And actually, although we've got all this kit on, it's quite quiet. And it's a really smooth cut, so that's pleasing. I'm liking that. It's certainly clipping everything that's put against it. I'll try and turn the handle now. If you're doing the same plane all the time, but it is more comfortable. So that's it. Slid across. I can get used to that.
A good showing for the Makitta in the hands of the pro when tackling the delicate topiary. But could the same be said in my amateur hands? So any tips here? Ready to...
Yeah, a little bit at a time. Don't cut any big holes in it yet.
Right, OK.
Just work up and down, slowly down into the level. Fire up and see. That's it. Once you've got all that excess growth off at the top, it's much easier to see. Yeah, we better leave a little bit for the other clippers, but yeah, that's good.
The Makitta is making light work of our challenge, and the rotating handle makes for a comfortable experience.
Don't worry, we'll, of course, be following up afterwards.
Yes, thank you, that's good. Next, it's time for the budget Einhell to tackle the same task.
Yes, this is the light one. I was looking forward to having a go with this. Nicely balanced, not too noisy. And there is a little bit of resistance on it clipping through this bush. I feel it's slightly more than the other one, but it's doing it. You'll have to feel that yourself.
Unfortunately for expert Chris, the Einhell's lightweight body can only produce a lightweight performance. But would this lightness help a novice like me?
See if you can feel the difference. I can.
Right. Thank you.
Mind that tip at the top.
With our topiary trim and both trimmers tested, which has come out on top? So, what did we learn from test one?
That was so much smoother, the Makitta one.
Yes, I mean, I'm obviously a complete novice at this, but even I felt the Makitta was a lot better. I felt it was cutting through more easily, and therefore I could concentrate on trying to get the blade in the right position.
I'm just a little disappointed with the Einhell one because I was so looking forward to it. It's light, it's balanced, it's perfect, but pulling it through the growth was actually hard work, and it was a bit more rattly. I almost think the extra weight of the Makitta helped because that was taking the force, whereas that was maybe bouncing around a lot.
I think we have to say certainly the Makitta wins test one.
Absolutely, the differences are emerging.
Next, we're upping the ante, testing both machines' performance on this towering hedge, the sort found in gardens up and down the land. Now, what's the goal in this second test?
Well, we need to clip back this hedge. It's beech.
And the idea is you get a flat finish.
Yeah, vertical sides and crisp.
And what's going to be the challenge for the trimmers?
Here, those green twigs that came out in the summer have now hardened off to hard sticks. And
Right.
so it'll be a lot tougher for these blades to go through.
Trimming this hedge once a year is essential to encourage growth in the spring. And Chris, rather surprisingly, has entrusted me to the task. Let's start with the Makitta. Moment, I'm on full speed. Standard position. The Makitta has a 21.5mm gap between the teeth, which should help it tackle thicker branches without jamming. Well, that seemed to cut through easily.
Absolutely, yeah, there's no problem at all with that.
It also has 3 speed settings, giving more control when you need a more considered cut. I think it's better on fast. But the faster the speed, the bigger the impact on battery life. You certainly get a lot of hedge in your face, don't you? It was a surprise.
Yeah.
Right, well, I think I better give it to you.
And give it a go.
With Chris at the helm and the power turned up to the max, it's time to see if the premium trimmer can tackle the thicker stuff.
So I'm going to test it to the limits, if you like. I'm going to try and take out a branch that's more than a finger thick, see whether it can manage it or not.
Success!
So it'd be interesting to see that one's managed, how the other clippers go, how the Einhell goes through something that thick.
Yeah. Well, let's find out, shall we?
And the answer is,
It's not going through the gap, is it, really? The Einhell has only a 15mm gap between its teeth, which means thicker branches like these are a struggle.
it's got these knobbles on the end of the blades, so you can't actually get the branch in the gap.
When it comes to trimming the rest of the hedge, despite having a 4cm shorter blade than the Makitta, the budget trimmer's performance improves.
It's all fitting through, and it is all being clipped. I thought it'd be struggling more than this. Perhaps you need to test it as well.
Oh, I'd love to.
There you go. Certainly lighter than the other one.
At 2.4 kilos, the Einhell is just over half the weight of the Makitta.
At this angle, you seem to notice the lightness more.
So, despite a stubbier blade meaning less is trimmed with each swipe, I can cut for longer without getting as tired, making the job easier overall.
Don't eat too much of the hedge on the way.
Oh. So, after a hard day's work in the garden, we need to decide which hedge trimmer offers the best value. But first, time to see how much battery's left in each device. They started the day fully charged.
They both lasted the day.
This one's down to 1,
And the
out
Einhell,
of 4.
1 out of 4, so that's nearly out. But the Einhell says 2 out of 3, so quite a bit left, which ties in with claimed battery life, which is 30 minutes from the Makitta, and Einhell claim 80 minutes. And that sort of ties in, really, doesn't it? What did you think of the Makitta overall?
I thought, when I initially picked it up, it was quite heavy, but actually it's a very smooth runner. I think it's got more gadgets than it needs, the turning handle and the extra speed, but basically it seemed like a good, sturdy tool that would last for a number of years.
What do you think of the Einhell?
I loved its weight and its balance. It's feather light, and I did wonder whether it would struggle with some of the work we put it up against. I was surprised how well it coped with a tougher hedge at the end.
Yes.
But
Yes.
it might not be the sort of thing I'd want to use on that sort of sharp topiary all day, every day.
Bearing in mind the price difference, the Einhell is just under a third of the price of the Makitta. What do you think on the value for money angle?
Ooh, well,
Tricky, isn't it?
If it was a home back garden I had, I'd probably go for the cheap one. The price is so low, I could forgive it, its rattliness. I could forgive it a lot.
We have a value for money winner, the Einhell.
Yep, the one for me.